Hi everyone, and welcome to House in the Hill Farm channel. We're so glad to have you here. If you haven't visited our channel before, my name is Heather, and my husband and I are small farm entrepreneurs. We are currently living on my parents' property, and we have property out here in the county, and we'll hopefully soon get to start building our house and farming. But today I wanted to share with you a passion of mine that an art, a homemaking skill that I've been able to practice for, wow, the past 20, 30 years. And it's soap making. And some of my, one of my dear friends got me involved in soap making and taught me the benefits and just showed me how much fun it can be to make my own soap, but how much more beneficial it is for my body, my skin, and even my hair. So I wanted to share that with you today. Soap is something that we sell at the market during the summer, and so you can always stop by the market and see the products that we have. But let's take a look at the things that you're going to need as you make soap. First off, I would have in your equipment, make sure that you have a good stainless steel pot. And this is crucial that it's stainless steel. Everything that you are going to be mixing the soap in needs to either be stainless steel or glass. The caustic lye that we'll use in the soap will react to anything else. So aluminum, I just had to test it one time, and I used a small aluminum dish just to see what it would do, and it really corroded it quite badly. So stick to stainless steel or glass, whatever you're going to use, or plastic. That'll work too, just as long as it's durable, because the lye does get hot. So I've got this fancy coffee carafe that I picked up at a flea market for the lye. You'll need some good spoons, long-handled spoons, a good scale for measuring all of your ingredients. It's really important to weigh your ingredients in soap making because there's such a minute difference between the weight of the fats. There's a particular amount of fat that will mix with the lye and create the soap. Another really useful tool that you'll need is a stick blender. And you can tell I've gotten a lot of use out of this one. It's kind of getting a little warped here. But this is invaluable to use. You can use whatever brand. I just picked this one up again at a flea market. You'll need a thermometer of some kind. This one is a candy thermometer, but you can also use digital thermometer, anything that's accurate. And you'll also need a good soap mold. And you can use pretty much anything for a soap mold, but my dad built this one for me so that I can do a large batch. And or you can use this, or you can use shoe boxes or any other fancy molds that are plastic. You can also use them. I've even used some ice cube trays. So let's just go over the ingredients that we're going to use today. So my personal favorites to use in soap are palm oil, and I love this because each fat has different qualities in the soap. So the palm oil will make the soap firm, but also moisturizing. Coconut oil makes it lather very well. So it's like indispensable in soap. It'll also make your soap hard. And then olive oil. And these, we'll talk about sources in a little bit, but, and we'll even shoot that, or put a post down below, and you can check out the sources where I get some of my oils and fats for soap. Olive oil just makes a very moisturizing soap. And let's see, that's my basic ingredients besides the lye. Now you will want to make sure that the lye it's going to say maybe drain cleaner, but you want it to say 100% lye. It's in the drain cleaner section at the store. I don't know that Walmart has it anymore. Sometimes you can only find it at small hardware stores. But my local Ace has it, and then a couple of other small hardware stores too. But make sure that it says 100% lye. You don't want any fillers. You don't want anything that's added to it. I also use goat milk in my soap. We locally source this from a farmer down the road from us. And let's see, what are my other main ingredients? That's pretty much it besides the essential oils. And I love making my own soap for this primary reason, that I can make my own combination of fragrances. I like to stick with essential oils mainly because they're natural. I know that they're going to be good, they're going to be safe for my skin. So I'll use those. Colorings. There's a whole world of fun things you can do with natural colorings. I do sometimes use mica. In this lavender soap, I've used some purple mica. But in other soaps, you can also use things like Anato. Now let me just open this up for you so you can take a good look at that. These are Anato seeds, and they're kind of brown, just as they are right now. But what happens is when you grind the seeds, and then you soak it in the lye, it'll turn the soap a beautiful light orange color. It's just the coolest thing. And by the way, Anato is what is used to color cheddar cheese in the store. So they're using some natural colors as well. So that's just one example of a natural color you could use. I also like to use other flower petals and then kind of steep it in the lye like tea and get the color from that. Today, so let me tell you the soap we're going to make today. My husband and I were at a health food store and picked up a bar of soap, and he just fell in love with it and loved the fragrance blend in it. And so I came home and we had saved the wrapper and everything, and I was determined to see if I could recreate this soap. So I'm going to call it Tiger Soap, and we're going to use those Anato seeds that I was telling you about to do the orange. And then I've got this black walnut powder. This is an experiment today. We're just going to see how it turns out, and we'll see if we can give it some black stripes like a tiger. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see how it goes. But those are pretty much the ingredients that I use. I do want to, like I said, stick as closely as possible to natural ingredients. And sometimes I might make a batch of soap that has some animal fat in it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I really like a lard soap because it's great with getting stains out of clothes. So, sometimes you can just experiment with different combinations. See what you like, see what's available to you. And like I said, each fat has different qualities, so you'll really want to just try them all or try a different combination and experiment with what you like. So one thing I told you will post below is a source that I really like. When I first started, I needed a place where I could create a recipe. So thesage.com was great. It got me started off. I could plug in all the different soaps or the different fats and oils that I wanted to use, you hit the button and it calculates how much lye you're going to need for the whole recipe. The sage is just one source from a many, I'm sure, on the internet. If you wanted to, just Google lye calculator and you'll find one. And then you can plug in how many of each type of oil that you want to use, and then it'll tell you how much lye you'll need. That brings me to another point. It's important to know, it's important to have that exact ratio because, okay, big long word, of saponification. So every single fat, like the the palm oil, the coconut oil, and the olive oil, they all have a different saponification value. And that just means that each one of them will need a different amount of lye to convert it into soap. So I guess we should kind of talk about the chemistry of soap. So fats and oils are the acids. Lye mixed with the water is the alkali. And as these two get combined in the right circumstances, under the right temperatures, they form to make your soap. And the neat byproduct of that, I guess, is not only the soap, but it also forms glycerin. And glycerin is a humectant. It draws moisture from the air to attach to your skin, so that's adding to the moisturizing quality of the soap that you use. So this is the point where I'm always afraid that I'm going to forget something. So bear with me. If I don't mention it during the video, just shoot us a question, give us a comment down below, and we'll get back with you about that. But let's go ahead and start with our step one. So generally there's about 4 steps. We're going to do kind of 4 stations for the soap making process. I'm going to do most of it here in the dining room, but we're going to have to go outside for part of it. Once you mix the lye with the water, it's going to create poisonous gas. So this is maybe the point at which some of you are like saying, oh no, do I really want to get into this? But if you're using caution, then it will be fine. Have something handy. Have it an alkali or an acid handy, like vinegar or lemon juice. It'll neutralize any burns that you'll get from the lye. So lye is very, very caustic, and so usually you'll read soap making books and they'll say make sure that you have gloves and you wear long sleeves and protective eyewear and a mask, and you probably need something on your hair too, I don't know. But today I'm only going to be wearing goggles when I mix the lye and the water together, but it's just your comfort level. And I did start off wearing gloves whenever I started making soap. Just as long as you're cautious and take your time. Don't rush through it, and then I think that you'll be perfectly safe. But like I said, when you mix the lye and the water together, it's going to create toxic vapor. So you don't want this in your house. So we're just going to take that whole process outside. We'll mix it up and let it cool. So just to hit the highlights of all the steps, I'll mix the lye and the water together. And then we're going to let that cool to about 100 degrees. While it's cooling, I'm going to mix all my fats together, and then we'll let that cool to about 100. And that's when we'll mix them. And then we'll come back here to the dining room and we'll mix everything together using my handy dandy stick blender. And that's part 3, and then the last step is just pouring it into the soap mold. But let's go ahead and get the soap mold ready. Like I said, you can really use anything. What I like to do in my my wooden box that my dad made for me, I just like to use a garbage bag and press it in there. Try to get it smooth on the bottom. Tuck it into the corners. It doesn't have to be exact, but it'll be easier to get the soap out, and then your fats and oils won't soak into the wood. So now that that's ready, let's do our next step here. So with every soap recipe, it calls for water, and you're going to want to use distilled water. And it's especially important for me here because we have a well, and there's a pretty high mineral content in our water. So I use distilled water, and I am going to use goat's milk in it today, but we'll wait until right before, yeah, we'll just wait later. I'll show you. Now, the lye, we need 13.6 ounces of lye, so I'm going to go ahead and measure that. Okay, let's make sure this is open. Lye is also a humectant, so you're going to see, yeah, that is open, okay. You want to make sure that your lids are tightly closed on your lye because they will draw moisture out of the air very quickly and start to, what's my word? Dissolve it. Okay, so 13.6 ounces. And she's trying to work as quickly as she can. Whoops, a lump there. But that'll dissolve. Lye comes in different forms. I do like to use the flakes, but the pellets are more accessible for me. So pellets do a good job. Sometimes they're a little bit staticky. Okay. I do want this pretty exact, 13.6. Okay, there we go. Thirteen and 5/8, close enough. If you want to measure things by grams, that website I was telling you about, the Sage, they give you that option too, so you can either weigh in pounds and ounces, or you can do grams for everything. Grams might be a little bit more exact, I guess. 13 and 5/8, all right. Oh, one more thing before we go outside. So I was telling you about these Anato seeds. Because I want the soap to be orangish yellowish, I ground the seeds, made a little tea bag, I guess, out of pantyhose, and I'm going to mix that into the lye and the water and let it just steep in there. It'll really change colors. It'll look really strange, but let's go on outside and we'll do that part.